I'm taking you with me to get some ice in our ice bucket, which is a Yeti, by the way. It's the 1 gallon Yeti. So I'm at the TA south of Topeka. And I'm glad that you're coming with me to go get ice. It's actually a cool little truck stop. I'll give you a little look. There's a church. It's really cute. Let's go have a look. So there might be, hi there, there might be some extra sound coming from my mic if it's beating against my jacket. So here it is, the little church. And it's got a little steeple. This is the driver's entrance for the TA. This is a Yeti. It's a 1 gallon size. It has a top. If you want to put something in it, you can pour out of it. But we just use it for ice because it keeps ice as long as it stays closed. It'll stay ice for 3 days or more. Of course, we go through it faster than that, but it'll keep ice in great shape for at least 24 hours. All right, so I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and talk to you face to face, so to speak. I wanted to tell you a story. This goes back to 2015. I was in a TA waiting on a trailer repair. It was about 11:30 at night. Jay was asleep, so I went to the Country Pride, which is the restaurant in TA. And I sat down, ordered, I don't know, a couple of eggs or something. And so I'm facing this direction, and across the aisle, just in front of me, there's a driver sitting in a booth. He's facing the same direction, so he can't see me. And I'm just sitting there minding my business, and a few minutes goes by, and the waitress delivers his food. A big hot plate of eggs and sausage and grits and I don't know, all kinds of foods, big plate. And he asked her, "So who are you voting for?" And she said, "Why, Hillary, of course." And this driver, pardon the French, it's about to take place, but he said, "Bullshit," and stood up. He said, "I won't be eating any food served by anyone who would vote for that bitch." And this was intense. I mean, this was loud. Pretty much the whole restaurant could hear. And he stood up, he pushed the plate away, he stood up, pushed past her, he walked out of the restaurant. And I was flabbergasted. I sat there just wondering what happened. What just happened? So about an hour goes by and I get a call and the trailer's ready. So I head out to the truck, go pick up the trailer, and before I left, because of this situation, before I left the truck stop, I did a quick search on YouTube and I found a whole bunch of videos about Hillary Clinton and queued them up so I could listen from about 12:30 at night to around 4 or 5 o'clock that next morning, I listened to documentary after documentary. And of course, I can't watch them, but I could listen. Point is, I listened that whole night. In the morning, when Jay got up and he came out, I was in tears. And he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "You're not going to believe it. I don't know if I believe it, but I am blown away." This was Clinton Cash, just on and on. Just look up Hillary Clinton documentaries on YouTube if you haven't yet. There's a bunch. But the story, a 30-year story of crime, of ripping people off, of stealing, of thievery, of criminal activity, of subversion. And since that time, that was 2015, I've had a lot more time to research and look into it, to know a lot more than I did that day. But it was that day that changed my life. Like most everyone, I was busy, I was focused, I was driven, and I was interested in what I was interested in. And it didn't really include the larger public conversation having to do with politics. In fact, I think in a lot of ways, I probably felt somewhat disenfranchised because I didn't believe that the government actually had any interest in my well-being at all. So in one sense, what was the point? But, at 12, I became a professional singer. At 17, I was signed with Warner Brothers Records. I was in Los Angeles, and my friends, my colleagues, my peers were in the arts and entertainment. And largely, that group, there's a lot of pressure, and it's constant. If you want to work with certain people, you need to think like certain people. And it's not that it's overt, actually. It's very, very covert. It's very subtle, and you fall into it without even realizing it. Now, I was raised in a Christian home, in a military family, Air Force father for 30 years. He was in the Air Force. And so I grew up moving from Air Force Base to Air Force Base. I think 18 times we moved before I left home. So what kept us together as a family, what held us together were our values, which came from my parents. And those values were to honor one another, to be honest, to have good character, to try to help where you could help, and to show strength and courage. And if you were afraid, don't try to run from it. Look at it, face it, and it'll bring you to where you need to be. Because courage isn't not having fear, courage is facing fear, right? So these were the things that I grew up with as values. But when I got to Hollywood, I began to feel that pressure. And I don't know that I even interpreted it as pressure. It was just like, this is my group, and these are the people that are like me. They're artists, they're musicians, they're songwriters, they're singers, because I was a singer-songwriter. Over the 22 years that I spent in California, 17 of those were spent in the midst of, constantly, the music industry. And of course, film and television. And I held, without realizing it, a lot of ideas that I didn't even know I held until that night in the truck, in the TA. I don't even remember what state I was in. But that night was a turning point. Something drastically shifted. Was that things I had come to believe, come to without even realizing it, arrived at certain conclusions and certain tolerances and certain neutrality, if you will. Like totally neutral, I don't care. And I began to realize I do care. I care quite a bit. And the more I looked into it, the more I learned, the more I began to realize that there's quite a bit at stake right now. And there's more at stake every single day that passes. If in my house I destroy everything, I tear up the carpet, I let water overrun in the tub and destroy the flooring, I mess up the walls, I blow it up, I set it on fire, is it okay if I walk across the street to my neighbor's house and just take up their house as my living space? Because my house is now not so comfortable, not so good. Does that make sense? What's the difference between that and a lot of people who are in tough situations where they live coming to this country and deciding that without going through the correct form of applying, that they can just walk in? Really? We have a system that's a little bit messed up. Well, no, it's a lot messed up. And the fact is this, that for it to change, it's going to take a larger majority than we currently have. And I get it. You might be saying that's if there's any hope at all that this could change through legislation, because our Senate, our Congress don't care. They haven't done anything about it so far. But don't be discouraged, because there is hope. There is. And until that hope is completely all squeezed dry, gone, dead, and in dust, I'm going to still hold out that it is possible. Because I do think it is possible for it to change. But it takes everyone to take a step to make that happen. You cannot sit home, not vote, play no role in electing the officials at the local, state levels and federal. Those are the people who legislate. Those are the people who come up with the rules. And if you want them to change, you have to take action. Please vote. Give our president a supermajority. Let's find out what he and they are made of, because this is the most important midterm election in our country's history, I do believe. Thanks for listening, and here's the piece I promised. It's a pretty cool shot. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, this has to be one of the nicest TA showers I have seen. We are outside Topeka. It has 2 sinks.
Is it hers?
His and hers.
She's making me use hers.
Jay says that's his and that's hers. I don't know why. What can it be hers and his?
Because it's using hers.
Okay, look at how nice this is. There's a place to hang stuff on the potty, a chair, and the piece de resistance, the shower. Of course, the towels, but have a look at the shower. There's the floor. There's Jay's shoes.
There's his share in the shower. A
Okay,
lounge.
so let's go into the shower. That's this end. And it goes all the way over to this end. It's 2 showers. It's 2 showers.
No.
Yes.
Shower heads.
There's 2 shower heads, 2 seats. This is a team shower room. I'm loving this.
Well,
Oh my
a
goodness.
team shower is 2 separate showers. Right?
Well, this is 2 separate showers.
No, it isn't one. It's 2 in the same shower. You're not gonna get
Yes,
2.
but that's a
You're not
shower.
gonna get 2 guys driving team to come in here and use the shower together. I'm sorry. It's not a team shower.
So it's a family shower. So that's really very, very cool to have 2 completely 2 showers. I'm impressed. TA, you get 10 points for this. Wow. And it's huge. We could, like, cook brought our stuff and cooked in here. Slept in here. If we had a cot. It's big enough. Seriously.
As soon as the floor dries, yeah, we could move out our bedding and camp out.
Yeah. All right. I thought you'd enjoy seeing a very cool bathroom. There's lighting. Well done. Well done.
Gonna head back to the truck. Let's go. So I'm gonna take you with me to the truck. Did you enjoy the little clip? It was the coolest. I think it's one of the, oh, it's raining. I gotta put the camera away. Thanks guys for listening. Bye-bye.